Alright, today we are going to cover on congruence and similarity. It's in your resource book, page 77, somewhere around there. So we are going to first start with a question on congruence. So the important thing to take note are all these letters are corresponding letters. What does it mean? AB will correspond to which length? Yes, very good. Angle C will correspond to which angle? G. So the important thing is not to look at the picture, because the picture will be rotated, it will be reflected. The important thing is, if they ask you to find X, alright, you must know which letters does X belongs to. So X belongs to the letters GF. So GF corresponds to which letters? Again, GF corresponds to which letters? CB. So it is important that you say it is CB and not BC. So we will find CB. Alright, so that's the first thing very important about today's lesson. Whether is it congruent or similar, the letters are corresponding. It helps us to find the corresponding length and the corresponding angle. So the very important question is this. What is the meaning of congruent and what's the meaning of similar figures? So congruent figures like this means that they have same what? Same shape means they have the same angle. Alright, again, in a lower sec, you learn that, or primary school, you learn that it's the same shape. But for secondary school, we learn that same shape means they have the same angles. Okay? So all the corresponding angles are the same. Now, same angles means all the corresponding angles are the same. Now, what about the length? If they are congruent? Congruent, congruent is still the same length. All the corresponding lengths are the same. Alright, now how do we apply this? Now, the value of X here is the same as which length? CB, right? So, what is the length of CB? You read 5.5. So what is the value of X? It must be the same length, right? Because they are congruent means they are exactly the same. Same length, same angle, same shape. So X is 5.5. So angle B belongs to which letter? It will be at the F side, right? So now you look at F. The angle F here corresponds to which angle? B, because it's the second letter, right? So it corresponds to the second letter. So my aim is to find angle B. So we call angle B angle ABC. Alright, if you're a bit fussy, you just find angle ABC. You should be able to find the letter B. Now what is angle ABC? 47. So angle ABC is 47. In conclusion, B also is the same thing, is 47. Now once again, you don't have to write every single step like this. You can just write the final answer, 47, if your eyes can see. Now for Y, I do it the long way again. Now my Y is here. So my Y belongs to AB. It's very important. AB corresponds to which letters? EF. So my job is to find EF. If I find EF, I can find Y because they are the same. Y and AB are the same. EF and AB are the same. If I find EF, I'll find Y. So let's look for EF. So EF is 3, which means your Y is also 3. Finally, I'm asked to find A. So let's look for A again. A is down here. Now, A belongs to the letter A. So the letter A corresponds to which letter? Corresponds to the letter E. So let's find the angle at E. So for example, angle FEG. So the angle E is 101. That means the value of A is the same. So this is the idea of congruence. What is the definition of similar figures? Similar figures, all right. Now in this case, I will draw a 2D diagram. It will look like that. This is the shadow of a building. So I will have 60 and 8. And our shadow of a human, it will be 1.7, and I will have a DCM. What is the concept of similar? They have the same what? They have the same shape, which means they have the same angles. Are the length the same? Obviously, the length are not the same, right? So, what exactly is the same? The thing that's the same is actually the ratio of the length. Okay? Yes, the scale factor, very good. All right, the scale factors are the same. So, the ratio of the corresponding length are the same. Now, for today's lesson, can you please highlight on this? Some of you may feel that, wow, this thing so lengthy. So I'm going to give you a very, very simple formula. What this means is the scale factors are the same. So what you can do is, I like to use this formula. Big over small equals to big over small. Now, you can also use small over big equals to small over big. You can also use big over big equals small over small. Doesn't matter as long as you have something like small over big equals small over big, or big over small equals big over small. Now, these two are definitely your scale factors. Understand? These are your scale factors. Now, small over big is your image over your original. So that's where you get your scale factor. Okay, so now let's see how to use it. How you use it is like this. You always, okay, you always start with the length you don't know. They are 68, 1.7, and D, right? Which one do you start first? So you do this, you start with D first. So that is at the numerator, it's easier to solve. So, small over the bigger one. So the small one is D, the corresponding big one is 8. Small over big equals to, again, go back to small. Small over big. And if you press your calculator, the value of D will be, yes? If you do, okay, very good question. Later I'll show you. Now, if you do this, I can just cross multiply, and my answer will be not so 0.227. Okay, 0.227. This is 0.227. Now, Bhavin asked a good question now. Look here for a while, please. I use big. Do you use 60 or do you use 8? Up to you. Which one do you like? Okay, see, I use big over small. 1.7. I must go back to big over small. Can you see that the D is at the denominator? It's a little bit harder to solve. Now, in this question, they say that triangle ACD equals to triangle DCE. So, what we do is we redraw again. A, C, B. Then we redraw D, C, E. Can we please fill in the length? What length is here? Very good. Thank you. What length is here? Yeah. X plus 6. What length is here? 4. And what length is here? 6. Okay, now let's start. Big over small equals to big over small. Since I start from here, right? This is the X I want. I will start with the big one over the small. Okay, equals to the big one over the small one. Okay, never mind. 1 or 2 doesn't matter. Okay, so doesn't matter 1 or 2. I just remember big, small, big, small. Okay, so what do we start first? x plus 6. But you understand why I start with x plus 6? So that the x is at the numerator. Yeah, because x also I don't have the number, so I start with this. Right? Okay, x big over what? Correct. Big over small. Again, big over small equals to? Okay, and if we do basic algebra, our cross multiply, x plus 6 equals, this is 2 only. So 6 times 2 is 12. And x equals to 6. Okay, some of you may say this, class, I know you all will say this. Hey teacher, come on. The scale factor is half, right? That means the scale factor this way will be 2 lah. I know this is double lah, double. So if this is 4, this is 8, right? This is 6, this must be 12. If I know that this is 12, my x must be 6 plus 6 is 12, then I get the answer. Now, this is a fantastic method if the scale factor is very simple. But this method here is universal. It will work for everything. Okay, so can we stop the video?